Welcome to the Scary Show, the home of grunge storytelling.
Shut up. Make me. Shut up. Shut up. You shut up.
Boys, come here.
I hate you.
Both of you, come. Keep your hands to yourself. Now stop and listen to me for a minute. Now I've raised you both better than this. Okay? This family is all we have. And someday there will come a time when I'm not here, and the only person you will have is each other. Is each other. Is each other. Is each other.
Shut up. Shut up. Make me. Shut up. Shut up. You shut up. I hate you.
Brett and Owen were twin brothers, locked in a lifelong rivalry.
You shut up.
Brett, the elder, was a star athlete, winning accolades and admiration from everyone around him.
Shut up.
Owen, however, struggled to find his place, consumed by jealousy and bitterness towards Brett's success.
You shut up. Shut up.
One fateful day, the brothers' rivalry reached a boiling point. During a heated argument, in a moment of anger, Brett pushed Owen, who stumbled and fell down the stairs, his spine snapping upon impact. The fall left Owen permanently crippled, confined to a wheelchair. The guilt consumed Brett, and he took on the burden of caring for his disabled brother. Resentment festered between them. Owen blamed Brett for his condition, while Brett resented the responsibility and constant reminder of his mistake. Their arguments were bitter and frequent, each word a dagger to the other's heart.
I want you to remember these words, boys. Above all else, promise me that the two of you will look out for each other.
A simmering tension quickly boiled over into shouted accusations. Brett stood in the small living room of their apartment, fists clenched, face twisted in frustration. Owen sat in his wheelchair, eyes blazing with resentment, firing back every hateful word Brett hurled at him. Something snapped in Brett then. His face went pale, and his eyes took on a cold, distant look. Without another word, he moved behind Owen's wheelchair, gripping the handles with a white-knuckled intensity. He started pushing the wheelchair forward towards the hallway, his movements sudden and forceful. Owen tried to turn and look back, panic rising in his chest. Brett maneuvered the wheelchair with grim determination to where a door opened to a staircase that led down to the garage. Brett's breath came in short, angry bursts as he reached the top of the stairs. With a brutal shove, Brett pushed the wheelchair forward. The front wheels tipped over the edge of the first step, and gravity took hold. Owen's screams echoed through the narrow stairwell as the wheelchair tumbled down the stairs. The world became a chaotic blur of motion and pain for Owen. The wheelchair crashed against the steps, metal and flesh colliding with sickening force. Owen's body was thrown violently, his limbs flailing as the chair bounced and twisted. Each impact sent jolts of agony through him, his cries of pain mingling with the deafening clatter of the wheelchair. Brett stood at the top of the stairs, watching in horrified fascination as his brother tumbled downward. The final impact came with a bone-jarring crash as the wheelchair hit the concrete floor of the garage. For a moment, there was silence. Then, A low, anguished moan escaped Owen's lips. He lay crumpled on the floor, still bound to his wheelchair, his body twisted at unnatural angles, blood trickling from a gash on his forehead. His breaths were ragged and shallow, the pain evident in every shuddering gasp. Brett's heart pounded in his chest, unsure whether to try and help or back away. The weight of his actions pressed down on him, a crushing guilt that threatened to suffocate him.
Someday, there will come a time when I'm not here. Promise me that the two of you will look out for each other.
The brothers' bitter arguments often took place beneath the silent gaze of their mother's portrait, a lone reminder of her absence. In their small apartment, only the memory of her words had ever kept their tensions from boiling over. But now, even that had failed. Hours passed, and guilt gnawed at Brett. He returned, only to find the wheelchair knocked over, and Owen dragging it, scraping across the floor as he clawed towards Brett. The sight was terrifying and heartbreaking. Owen's eyes burned with a fierce hatred, and Brett began to panic, his heart racing. He stumbled backwards, his back hitting the wall, cornered by his crippled brother.
I'm sorry, Owen.
Brett cried out, his voice trembling.
I'm sorry, Owen. I'm sorry for pushing you that day. I'm sorry for every time I called you weak or useless. I'm sorry for all the times I ignored you and made you feel like you were less because I was good at sports. I'm sorry for making you feel like you were nothing compared to me. Owen, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Shut up!
Owen screamed, his voice raw with pain and hatred.
You ruined my life! You took everything from me with that one shove. I will never forgive you for that.
Owen's breath was ragged, his strength nearly spent, but he kept dragging himself forward, his eyes never leaving Brett's.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for not being there when you needed me.
Brett continued, tears streaming down his face.
I'm sorry for resenting you and for this horrible thing that I did. I was wrong, Owen. I was so wrong. You have no idea what it's like to wake up every day and know that your own brother did this to you. To see you living your life while mine is over.
Owen growled, his fingers clutching the cold concrete floor, the anger in his eyes producing a torrent of tears. Brett fell to his knees, reluctantly reaching out to his brother.
Sorry. Sorry doesn't give me back my legs. Sorry doesn't erase the years of watching you be the star while I was nothing. You always had everything. And now you even have my ability to walk. I hate you, Brett. I hate you more than you can even understand. Please forgive me.
Brett whispered.
I can't undo what I've done, but I can promise to be better. I can promise to be the brother you deserve.
For a long moment, silence filled the air. Then, with a monumental effort, Owen nodded, his cheeks glazed by tears, his eyes red from crying. Brett rushed forward, lifting Owen and the wheelchair back upright, embracing his brother tightly. Tonight's Scary was written by Scary. But as they embraced, Owen's hand suddenly shot up, grasping Brett's face with a vice-like grip. Before Brett could react, Owen's thumbs plunged into Brett's eyes with a sickening squelch. Brett's scream was raw and primal, echoing through the garage. The sound of flesh tearing and bones crunching filled the air as Owen pushed deeper, his thumbs burying into the soft tissue. Blood and viscous fluid oozed out like macabre tears. Owen's face twisted with dark satisfaction, his hatred boiling over into this act of revenge. Brett's screams turned to gurgles as he choked on his own agony, his hands flailing wildly but uselessly against Owen's relentless assault. The sensation was unbearable. His body convulsed, every muscle contracting in a futile attempt to escape the torment. Owen's grip tightened, his fingers digging into Brett's skull, thumbs twisting cruelly inside the eye sockets. Brett's vision was obliterated, replaced by searing darkness. The world became a blur of excruciating pain and the taste of copper as blood filled his mouth. He could feel his consciousness slipping, the pain dragging him down into a merciful blackness. Finally, Owen released his grip, letting Brett collapse to the floor, writhing, his once bright eyes now ruined cavities. Owen looked down at his brother, a cold, empty satisfaction in his gaze.
If you enjoy the stories you find here, hit the like button. Think of it like applause at the end of a show. Please subscribe and click the top bell for all notifications so that you never miss an episode. And if you wouldn't mind, share this video so that others can discover The Scary Show. Questions, comments, suggestions? Let me know down below. The Scary Show always answers the fans, unless YouTube hides your comments from me.